We've been wanting to try the TOTO Washlet S7A for a long time now, and we've finally gotten the opportunity. There were a lot of things that I loved about this seat, and I'm sure you will too. For starters, it has the lowest profile of any seat on the market. If you've used a bidet seat in the past, you know how frustrating it is to have a really tall back and something that looks bulky and kind of like a medical device. You don't have to worry about that with this new washlet from TOTO. So that was a great plus. Along with that, there's absolutely no denying that TOTO has the best washes on the market. From the soft washes to the standard washes to all the different configurations, it just does a really good job. Now, the remote on this new both S7A and S7, so the auto open and the non-auto open versions, are very different from the previous generation, the S550 and the S500. This is the prior version of the remote, prior version being the 500 series, and this is the S7 series. So none of the buttons on the old version are clickable. It's all touch capacitor. On the new, they're all clickable, so quite a bit different there. You can also see how large the buttons are on the front of this remote in comparison, which I personally like. Everyone's got their own opinion on that, but I like that. I also like the way the options down here at the bottom are laid out. I think it's more intuitive than what we see here. You can also see on this remote, to operate these guys, you have to swipe. We get calls about that all the time. It's workable, but you have to kind of mess with it to figure out how to use it. On the new S7 and S7A remotes, it's simply a press of a button. One odd thing is you can see spots here where there's a light. I don't know if you can see that on the screen or not, but there's a little LED light that shows what position you're at, and it's a darker color than the rest of the remote, so you know where the lights are. There's a darker bar here that looks like it should be a light bar to tell you what position you're at from a nozzle standpoint. Not so much. So don't know why that's there, don't know why they didn't make that a light, but that kind of caught me off guard and threw me for a bit of a loop. Also on the back of the last generation, there was a screen, and this screen allowed you to select from a variety of different options. It would allow you to configure practically anything you could imagine for your seat. Heat settings, temperature for the water and temperature for the seat are both on the back of the remote. So that is a page out of the playbook from the 500 series. Don't love that. I wish they had put those right down here. And the reason for that is that if you use the wall mount that keeps the remote adhered to the wall, well, if you want a different temperature setting than someone else, you're out of luck. So don't love that, but I do love the layout of this remote as a whole. I also love the fact that for every single setting here, you have 5 different levels. So a lot of bidet seats on the market today offer 3 levels, which is fine, low, medium, and high, but the 5-level setup does give you that little extra bit of customization. So that is pretty cool, and I did like that as well. One thing I was a little bit disappointed about was the feel of the remote. It does kind of feel a little bit plasticky and cheap, which it gets the job done. And like I said, the washes are great. Didn't have any issues with it. But when you're buying a seat for well over $1,000, a plastic remote that feels very plasticky is not necessarily optimal. Personally, from a feel standpoint, the matte finish on the 500 series feels a little bit higher class to me, but that is personal preference, and I am the person doing the first impression, so you get my personal preference in this video. But overall, I'm definitely happy with it. I would definitely use it in my home. I would replace the last generation, the 500 series, with this new one. even if it's just from a profile standpoint. So overall, I'm happy with it. Now keep in mind, these are just my first impressions. I've only run a couple of washes with it. I am going to be leaving it installed in my home for a matter of weeks to months. So with that being said, there's a lot more testing to be done. And once I have a full picture of my thoughts from every single feature offered on the unit, I will be doing a full review. So please stay tuned for that. That's going to give you all the ins and outs. This is kind of a brief overview based off of my first use. Thank you so much for watching. Both the S7A and the S7 are currently on sale and in stock. So check out minibidets.com to purchase that. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to us or comment on this video so that we can reply and help you and others who might have the same question. Thanks so much and have a great day.
minibidets.com, where we sell mini bidets, not mini bidets.
My life is now complete. I've gotten the chance to use the TOTO Washlet S7A and I can die happy.